Round all wrapped up, but if I'm being honest, I'm not impressed. Welcome in and welcome back to the Down South Philly Show, brought to you by Sports Lounge Media. Make sure y'all hit that like button, drop a few comments, and as always, subscribe. Man, we got a lot to talk about tonight. It was some interesting football this weekend. A lot of interesting football this weekend. We got to talk about this divisional round of the NFL playoffs. We got to talk about how that ties into what we saw down the stretch from the Eagles. We got to talk about how these quarterbacks, I don't see nobody that's better than that much better than Hurts, or I didn't see anything from these quarterbacks that my quarterback can't do. So let's dig into it. We got to talk about these individual matchups. Let's start on the AFC side. So first, the game that everybody wants to talk about. Well, I don't know about everybody, but the game, the quarterback that everybody wants to pile on right now, CJ Stroud. So obviously the Houston Texans go to New England Patriots home to take them on in the divisional round. And for a large part of that game, it was a close game. It was a good defensive battle. You had both defenses on display. I think for me, the Texans defense stood out more. They just was ferocious and they really couldn't be blocked. Will Anderson is a dog. Daniil Hunter continues to be one of the best premier pass rushers in this league, even at his age. Because I remember him wreaking havoc for a long time with Minnesota. So now he's in Houston. And for some reason, they just want to block him one-on-one, and chips don't really matter. Let's tackle this from the Texan side of it. Defense A+. Can't chef's kiss. Now they were a little leaky and they gave up a few plays here and there, but what defense won't? That's still the top unit for me. Them and the Seattle Seahawks are like 1A, 1B, because when we look at how you want your defense to play, you think about the Texans, you think about the Seattle Seahawks, and if I'm being honest, you think about the Birds too, because we had an elite defense this year. Our offense was so bad that it never really got a chance to be appreciated outside of Philly. Not really. Um, so the Texans, they keep the game close for as long as possible, especially defensively. Stroud was bad in this game. Let's make no mistake about it. He was bad. I believe he threw like 4 picks in. Let me pull up the exact stats. So we go Texans versus Patriots. So Stroud went 20 for 47, 212 yards, 1 touchdown, 4 interceptions. He was sacked 3 times, ended up with a 28 passer rating. It was a rough day at the office for him, to say the least. So you got to put in the context, though, when you go into this game, without your number one target in Nico Collins. Early in this game, you lose your second target, Dalton Schultz, who just had bust off a big 40-yard run in the first quarter to help set up a score. You get nothing from your run game. So you basically out there playing left-handed. You are a predictable offense that's already not good. Let's start there. Offense that already wasn't a great offense. You take away their run game. You take away their number one and their number two option for Stroud. Um, I believe that they were missing the left tackle. Um, I think they even lost their one of their guards. So they don't have all their horses on the O line. They don't have all their horses out wide. Now, Christian Kirk had a hell of a game. I believe Higgins had a decent game. Um, Texans hung in there for most of this game, and as a matter of fact, the defense kept them in it for the majority of this game. They got to Drake May early. They got to Drake May often. They made him fumble like 3 times. Yeah, they got to him 3 times, knocked the ball out. As a matter of fact, I think Danielle Hunter had a chance to scoop and score, but not only did he not pick the ball up, he didn't even get a chance to secure the fumble. So they get it back on that particular strip sack fumble, but defense did that thing. So we sit here today on Tuesday and think about what could have been because Stroud his day was tough because he gave the ball up. Now, it would have been tough if he would have protected it, but I believe if you take away the turnovers that Stroud had, Texans did enough defensively to win this game. But what you can do is throw a pick six. Now, the pick six, I believe that was on a tip pass, so you can't really doubt Stroud for that particular one, but he was making some bonehead throws all game, all night long. I'm not ready to say that Stroud is a bust. I like to give players their entire contract, um, and a few years to see what they're gonna do. Stroud is a special case because he's been able to, in the 3 years he's been starting in Houston, they've been able to win a playoff game every year. So I think he has like 3 playoff wins. So he should be 3-3 now because he loses in the divisional round, I think, every year. So he should be 3-3. Um, it's just so hard to win a game when you turn the ball over that many times. It's also hard to win a game when you have no running game. Um, your top 2 weapons out of the game at some point in the game, and just to make matters worse, by the end of that game, it looked like he kinda lost confidence. It did. It looked like he was defeated. He was scared, to make throws because everything that nothing he was doing was working. And it was excruciating to see because if it had been a blowout, it'd be different. But the fact that they were in the game for the majority of the game, the pick six kind of was the start of them of the Patriots breaking away because for the longest you looking you looking at a for the longest you looking at a game that was just super close. So yeah, everybody want to bag on. What's up?
What up with you?
It's over here recapping these division round games. I really just got started with the Texans and the Patriots. Yeah,
Hmm?
did you get a chance to see the Texans and the Patriots?
Nah, did I see that game? Nah, I ain't see that game.
Yeah, so I basically was going over one. how it was such a close game until Stroud just made it unbearable for for his defense to keep going. They kept him in it as long as they could. As a matter of fact, I think they got to Drake made like 3 times and got the ball out. Um, and up until the pick six, I think it was kind of, just like Philly been looking like. Defense been holding it in the road. But if your offense just keep on putting you in bad situations, at some point you're gonna break. But my main reason for even starting with the Texans and Stroud is just that as you look around the league with these divisional round games, um, no quarterback really like lit it up. And basically you saw a lot of why we give Hurt so much praise, and because you see these quarterbacks giving the ball up, you see them not making smart decisions and putting the ball in harm's way basically. When you
Mhm.
got a quarterback like Hurts who will make a smart throw or just not put the ball in harm's way and end up with a stat line that's like 100, barely 200 passing yards, but no turnovers in the game. Um, but it's really playoff football when you think about it. So the way that Hurts plays every game is how really you supposed to play in the playoffs. So he played playoff football all year round. And I think that's one of the biggest things to why it seems like things don't really get to him like that, especially in the biggest games, because he play each game the same way. He treat week one just like he treat week one of the playoffs. But when you listen to other fan bases talk about quarterbacks, they make it seem like they just lighten it up all throughout the regular season. They get to the playoffs and they light it up there. They have 300-400 yard games and 5 touchdowns and don't make no mistakes. And at the end of the day, it just ain't true. But since you didn't get a chance to see that first game, um, I already talked about Stroud's struggles and basically him costing them that game. Um, Patriots called a break though. I would say so. I think because they had the younger quarterback, um, because their defense wasn't as good as the Texans defense, I think the Texans actually had a great opportunity to win that game had it not been for Stroud wetting the bed. Now, I give him some grace in the standpoint of he didn't have Nico Collins. He lost Dalton Schultz early in that game, which is his number 2 option. Um, Offensive line been shaky all year, and I think he went into that game without his left tackle and at least one of his starting guards, if not multiple. He might have had 3 offensive linemen out. I'm not sure, but at least 2. Um, but with all that being said, that don't mean that you got to turn the ball over 5 times. So that's where you got to ding him if you're gonna ding him for anything. I don't think that it was to the point because when I listened to a lot of analysts, especially today, they were talking like they should have benched him. They should have benched him and they should have put Davis Mills in to finish out the game and that would have given them the best chance to win that particular game, even if you go back to Stroud in the championship round. So uh I think you gotta kind of live or die with your starting quarterback. I don't know how that works in the NFL. I don't ever really remember a case of you having to pull your starting quarterback in a situation in the playoffs and then him going back the next game outside of like injury, but not just due to play. But it really wasn't much else to talk about with that one. Patriots did what they needed to do to win. Big Milk Dog had another good game. Defense actually been playing better for the Pats. So overall, they looking like a unit that, one of the best teams in the AFC. So they gonna get a chance to represent, or they gonna get a chance to play in the AFC Championship next week. But the other game that they had in the AFC was the Broncos and the Bills. Did you get a chance to see that one?
Broncos, Bills. I feel like I seen that game. Trying to think about what happened. Oh, you know what? I seen some of that game. Broncos, Bills. Seen some of it.
Yeah, from the part that you saw, tell me what you saw.
I really kind of just caught the tail end of it. Going into it. I kind of just I knew caught a couple highlights of like Josh Allen turning the ball over, and I kind of heard people saying it or whatever, but I didn't realize at the time how many times he had turned the ball over. But I caught maybe the last quarter, maybe the last quarter and a half. Um, I think if I'm not mistaken, they kind of started scoring right there towards the end, right when they going back and forth. Or am I thinking about another game?
Yeah, they was going back and forth with that
Yeah,
one.
I feel like it towards the end of that game, at least when I caught it, I feel like they was doing some last minute scoring. But at the end of the day, man, Josh Allen missed some throws. That's not. I mean, I seen him miss. Even I don't know what he did early in the game, but I seen him miss at least like two or three throws. He had somebody open down the field for a throw. I think I seen him miss another throw, and it might have been in the end zone. At the end of the day, man, when it comes to and a lot of people want to make it out to be um it's funny because like when you get down to the end of these games, if it's a quarterback they like and they just go ahead and secure that victory at the end, regardless of whatever happened in the first 3 quarters, they gonna wipe that clean. Hey, did you see that comeback by Josh Allen?
Mhm.
Man, Jalen Hurts or certain quarterbacks, they could do the same thing. They're not gonna talk about that comeback at the end. They're gonna talk about all the stuff they didn't do the first 3 quarters. It's same scenario, just a different player. So that's what's crazy to me. So with the Josh Allen thing, when it come down to it, yeah, he had scored what he put his team in a position to win, but he also put his team in position to lose several times. So, um, had it not been for them crazy mistakes he was making earlier, they probably not even in that position to for him to have to, score a last minute touchdown or for the Broncos the win the game, come down in the last minute and stuff like what they did. So, um, to me, he had a bad game. Like you can't just wipe the whole game away just because it looked like he was clutch right there at the end when they needed him. They needed his ass the whole game. I mean, so if you ask me, he played a large part in losing them that game. And as far as the Broncos are concerned, I mean, second year quarterback, great defense. They did what and on top of that, Bo Nix was really doing what he needed to do as a young quarterback. It wasn't like he was just out there chilling. They had the run game going or something. Nah, he was out there throwing that thing. For it to be his Bo Nix, what, second year, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, for it to be his second year, man, he played well. He played well. I don't even like the Broncos, but I kind of would have liked to see him in the championship game just to see what he do. Um, but they did. The Broncos did what they needed to do. They did what they needed to do at the end of the day. And they got the job done. The Bills didn't, and it was all Josh Allen's fault. Nanny boo boo.
Yeah, with the two teams that ended up in the AFC specifically, I feel like both AFC games came down to more what the quarterbacks did than as opposed to. I mean, I know you got to give credit to the team for winning, but at the same time, like you said, Josh Allen folded, Stroud folded in different ways. Stroud kind of had a meltdown, and at a certain point, it just felt like looking at that game, it looked like he lost confidence. Like at some point, it just seemed like, and you can see it. You saw it in his face. He just seemed like he had lost confidence. He was doubting his throws. He wasn't getting the same zip on his throws. The defense was on him the whole game. So and the weather was terrible. So
He
when you
had
add
already
all that,
conceded the loss.
yeah, he already in his mind, he probably didn't believe that he could win that game. He was just hoping that his players could give him some helping hand, but he didn't have his guys when it got real tough. So
Right.
when you think about the Bills, Allen did put him in the hole. He dug him out the hole that he put him in, and then he had a chance to go up. So it's one drive that I'm thinking about in particular where it's getting down to the nitty gritty, and he got a chance to. If he scored a touchdown, they might be able to go up 9. Um, if they don't score, they was already in field goal range. Um, if they don't convert, they kick the field goal and they only go up by like 4. I think that was the turning point in the game. So out of all the stuff that happened in the game, all the miscues, all the bonehead plays that was being made, that was his moment to step up and take over the game and just prove that, he one of the best players in the league. And he couldn't do it. He couldn't do it in the moment. He missed a key throw. As a matter of fact, I think it was wide open to his tight end where I don't know if he scores on that, but he definitely gets
Yeah, it's
in
probably the same
position to
play I was
score.
thinking about.
Yeah. He missed that throw. They kick a field goal, and really the rest was history. Bo Nix had a hell of a game. He did everything that they needed him to do against that defense, and he marched it down the field, tied it up, and did what he needed to do in overtime as well. But I was looking at a stat. I didn't realize, and it didn't really have nothing to do with nothing, but I didn't realize that Josh Allen is winless in
I
overtime.
knew you was about to say that. As soon as you said I was looking at a stat, I was like, I know where you going with this. Because I
I
said the
ain't
same
even
thing.
I ain't never noticed that. I mean, I know for a fact that we got him for one, and he did lose the famous 13-second game against Kansas City, but I ain't never realized that he never won none of the overtime games.
Overtime.
Over. So he a over on that one. Um, it's a lot of excuses being made for for Allen right now. As a matter of fact, as we speak, they got to look for a new head coach. So um, his time is up. We kind of talked about it last week that, or at least I kind of figured that he might be on the hot seat if they didn't get
Oh,
it
you
done.
talking about Bills coach?
Yeah,
I'm
McDermott.
over here thinking
McDermott.
about all that bull crap they been saying about Josh Allen. Just pissed me off.
Yeah. Uh, well, it was the one thing I stopped listening after they tried to say something about an offensive lineman not jumping on the ball. I was like, yeah,
Hey, man, I seen
yeah.
that too. I was like, ain't no way in hell, bro. What the hell are we talking about? Can't believe this. Like then he did it quick too. With Josh Allen, yeah, if he don't supposed to do this. He did fumble, but if the lineman just, I ain't never heard nobody say that. I
Never,
ain't never heard nobody say that.
never.
I ain't never heard nobody just get off of what was wrong and just jump on the excuse. I was like, damn, it's crazy. They really
Yeah,
doing this. Like, I ain't never seen that. And it ain't even like it ain't that I don't expect it, but damn, it's like, bro,
not to that level.
it's super obvious. Like he ain't go deeper into the take and then come back at the end. Hey man, if usually they gonna bring that up at the
Yeah,
very end. They gonna say some more stuff,
nah.
boom at the end. But he did all that. But if the lineman get on the ball, he's straight right. No, he went right to it. Yeah, Josh Allen ain't got no business carrying the ball like that. But look at the lineman. If he jump on the ball right there, the hell? Bro, I ain't never seen they
Ah.
had like damn Josh Allen that just Josh Allen different. He put his pants on 2 legs at a time. What?
Mhm.
Come on, bro.
He don't even use legs. So,
He got people put his pants on for
but nah, that is crazy. how the narrative switch depending on who the quarterback is. Because when
Crazy.
you look at Stroud, they basically they all but kicking them out of Houston.
Oh man,
They talking about don't pay him, make him play out his 5th year.
man, they
Which,
talking. They
which I'm not completely against that, but I'm just saying how funny it is how the narrative switched between two people who basically both had bad games.
Straw going into year 4, right?
I think this was his 4th year. No, because he done played 3 years and they done been to the playoffs 3 years and they done won a playoff game all
Yeah, so
three
he
years.
getting ready to go into year 4.
Yeah, but I think this the year where you can decide whether you're gonna pick up his 5th year option or if you're gonna pay him.
Yeah, it is because we just did the same thing with Jordan
Jordan
Davis
Davis.
going to his 4th year.
Yeah. So this is the year, this is the time where you can think about either
Yeah, I would.
you gonna extend him or you
Nah,
gonna let him play out his last
yeah, I would pick up his 5th year option.
I think I would too.
I would pick
I
up his
gotta
fifth
see a
year
little
option
more.
because not only are you not only are you trying to still evaluate him, at the same time they usually put a battery in him back. Hey, shit, hey, they done picked up my 5th year option. They ain't pay me. Hey, Stroud might
Mhm.
get MVP next season. You don't know, but nah. Hopefully, because if you really look at it, to be real, if you really look at it, he offensive line being trash, and on top of that, hell, his wide receivers be gone every year. So
Every
damn,
year.
look, they went and got Diggs and everything last year. He was up out of there. Nico stay hurt. Damn, Tank Dell stay hurt. It's
Tank
like, bro,
Dell
he out
can't
there
stay on the field.
playing with people off the street every year. So hopefully, this next coming season, he gets some good wide receiver, good wide receiver help. Everybody stay healthy, and they do something about that old line because we want to see what Stroud really can do, and all that stuff make a difference. Because sometimes you judging people off of a bad situation. I mean, that's all you
Mhm.
really can judge them off of. But at the same time, that's not they not in a great environment to show off what they can really do. So hopefully it work out. Well, at least he get a good offensive line and good wide receivers. Now, if he flop after that, it is what it is. But
That he got a good opportunity. Like you said, I would like to see them give him a good offensive line, like a stout offensive line. What's good, Sarai? Appreciate you. Appreciate you. I would like to see them give him, like you said, a good offensive line to give him a chance to see what he got. I think if I had to choose between going out there and getting top 10 weapons and getting the offensive line fixed, I'm a prioritize the offensive. Hopefully they do both. But if it's a either or situation, go ahead and fix the offensive line
yeah,
because
you gotta
Nico
hit them
Collins,
trenches first.
yeah, you got hit the trenches. Nico Collins is a dog. I think I saw a stat on the game where this like his 3rd year in a row um with 1,000 yards, and that's a franchise record. So I
Yeah,
guess
yeah, especially while it's
the
in, especially since what's up? Especially since it seemed like he be hurt all the time. So
yeah,
for him to still get 1,000 yards, that's crazy. But what was his? Did he get injured? What was his injury?
he got injured too. I think he was hurt off and on all year.
No, I'm saying he
Uh,
missed the last game. What was the injury?
I think it was a concussion or something.
Oh, okay, okay.
Let me
I
see,
was wondering if
Nico
it was something that
Collins.
was like a little bit longer term.
No, because if they would have won, he would have probably played in
Play
the
the next
AFC
game.
Championship.
Dang,
That's
boy.
why you kind of hate that for him because
For real.
they needed him. They needed him out there.
What?
He played. It looked like he played a good bit of the season though. Like he logged stats in just about every game.
Right.
So he was relatively healthy all year. He had ended up with 71 catches, 1,100 yards, 6 tugs.
Yeah, he needed somebody else on the other side to take some heat off of him.
Yeah, and Kirk
He's
was
straight.
a
I like
solid
Kurt.
piece.
I wanted him to come to Philly 2-3 seasons ago.
Yeah, I think he a solid number 3. Um,
Yep, that's how I look at him. Solid number
he can
3.
he can give you more than most from the slot. He actually had a decent game that game. It's just, it was a rough time for the offense. Let's put it that way. But we got to talk about these other 2 games too. Um, the Rams and I know you saw the Rams and the Bears.
Yeah, Rams and the Bears. It ain't no secret. I was pulling for Chicago. And they let me down. The one time I pulled for you fools, you let me down. But I mean, it started getting good right there towards the end. Um,
Mhm.
Caleb, man, they would this fool Ben Johnson, man, he out of here. He just be doing him and Caleb the perfect match because they both just be doing anything. A lot of the time, they just both just be doing anything. Caleb out there running around, doggone Ben Johnson just over there going for it. So it'll be interesting to see because I personally feel like it's kind of I've been saying all season. They kind of remind me of Washington a little bit, but I do think they were just to me they was a little bit better than that Washington team. But I do also think another similarity is just seeing like a lot of lucky stuff kept happening. So my motto: you better go ahead and get better and actually become better than depend on luck again. Because if they go into next season close to the same type of team this year and they banking on that same type of luck, they ain't gonna be them wins they was pulling out at the end because you gotta think about it. They had a lot of comeback wins. They kept talking about how many come. You ain't gonna do that. You ain't gonna do that 2 seasons in a row.
They
So
almost did it again.
yeah, they almost did it again. So if
That
you come
crazy
back next
throw
year
that
banking on that same type of it ain't gonna be the same. So I think a lot of teams coming back there next season and all them close games, just like the Chiefs, they had all them close games they won came back this season. The same type of games, all them close games they won the year before, they lost them this year. So
Mhm.
it'll be the same for the Browns unless they actually just improve everything. They can just improve the defense, improve the offense. Caleb could get better, and they ain't got to worry about coming back and winning no close games. They can actually just go out there and win games convincingly. So it'd be interesting to see how they look next season. But as far as this game, man, they left so many opportunities out there on the field. First drive, they go down the field, throw an interception.
No
Um,
points.
no points. They could have easily put points up on the board. Um,
They did that like 3 times.
I was about to say it was a couple of times they drove down the field, could have kicked the field goal or scored a touchdown. Caleb missed a throw, or they just whatever, just go for it on fourth down or whatever. Just crazy. If they just did if they just played ball, took their points when they need them, they probably win that game. And they let the Rams stick around. The Rams is not a team you could just let stick around or not continue to score when you had the opportunity to score. And that's exactly what they did. Everything they did was a recipe for the Rams to come back and beat them, and they did. Even when they go to overtime, they had a chance they Rams get the ball first, they don't score. Now you in the best position getting the ball second because all you got to do is go down here and score. Because the Rams already had their opportunity. Caleb throw another interception. So they I don't want to say you kind of feel like they beat themselves, but I don't want to take nothing away from the Rams because they did what they're supposed to do too. Verse was out there having a hell of a game. They defensive line, but Verse kept flashing. He started some key plays out there. Stafford missed some throws. Man, there was one point in the game where where it was a good point in the game where the Rams couldn't really get their offense going. And this is when you take your opportunities to score when you have them. The Rams can't
Mhm.
get it, and then they got in the second half and they let them boys start doing their thing. So man, I don't even really want to talk about that game because every time I think about it, the Bears just piss me off because I'm thinking about all the opportunities they had. They just left them right there on the field, thinking they could just pull some kind of Houdini act and come back at the end, which he kind of did, but it didn't still didn't pay off at the end because they went to overtime and with the
That was
bed.
a hell of a throw though.
Yeah, that
That
Caleb thing. That's what I'm talking about, man. How many times you think you gonna come back again next year and do that to win a
and do that.
game? Yeah, you're not gonna do that. Pretty much the same thing he been doing all season. So,
Mm-hmm.
and he tried to do it. What was that? The last game of the season when he missed that throw to win the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so uh, that's all I pretty much got for them, man. They missed a bunch of opportunities going for it on fourth down. Caleb out there just I've been saying this too all season. Caleb, to me, he got better than he was last season. I didn't know what he was gonna look like just because last season it was like, what really got going on? This season he's still doing some of the same running around, but he actually, you can tell, he got with Ben Johnson or something, and I don't know if he just reading the defenses really well or just designed for the ball to go there. But he always kind of seemed like he know where to go with the ball and know where to have his eyes and there's reads and stuff like that. And a lot of times when he don't, he'll run around and make something happen. So that's another reason why I said it'd be interesting to see what Caleb Williams look like next year, because I think it'd be a little bit easier to tell as like how much he progressing, if he progressing, or it's just like some lucky stuff or whatever. But he does look better. And man, F the Bears, man, they let me down. I was gonna pull for y'all to lose against Seattle, but dang, I mean, come on, bro, y'all could have did something for me one week. Now we gotta
Yeah.
watch. Now we gotta watch the Rams go on out here to Seattle and hopefully get their boots smoked.
Speaking of boot smoking, we gotta talk about Seattle versus the Niners. The Niners, they escaped one in Philly with the trick play, got us up out of there. Then they lose Kittle in the process on a team that's already bruised and battered. They go up to Seattle and get their eyes beat in.
Man,
Yeah.
yeah, they took what was it, 41-6 or something like that.
Yeah.
Man,
Uh-huh.
boy, like you said, it ain't even a whole lot to say about that game. They only had 6 points. Y'all know what happened. They done sent them boys to the cat, cuz. But they really can't get nothing going, man. I mean, it ain't no different than the game against us, other than they got that trick playoff. So they really San Fran can move the ball. Seattle had that stingy defense on them. They was out there flying around. I also like what Seattle was doing on offense. But it really ain't a whole lot to say about that game. They was doing whatever they wanted for the most part, offense and defense. Um, and of course, towards the end of the game, you take your foot off the gas. I mean, if it was anything else, I mean, if the 49ers was doing anything, then San Fran would have, Seattle would have kept scoring. It would probably been 50-something point game, but it ain't a whole lot to say about the game. Seattle did what they were supposed to do coming off the bye week. They handled business. Everybody was fresh. You would think, because they just played recently, so you would think that 49ers would have had a better game plan and a better showing than that. But like I said, Seattle came out there as the number one seed and did what they were supposed to do with that type of defense. That's exactly what you're supposed to go out there and do to a team like that, especially with them being injured like they injured. They on the road. Um, they not as
Division opponent.
division opponent. They not as good as us. That's how you handle business. So, um, man, well, it is what it is. They the boys. They got sent to the back.
Yeah, like you said, there wasn't much to talk about in that game. They really came out and played a game similar to how we looked all last year, where played solid defense, um, ran the ball, and didn't really ask Sam to do too much. And I think they were saying leading up to that game, he had some kind of injury that they was monitoring, and he was gonna be questionable or whatever. So I don't know how much that played into the ultimate game plan that we saw on the field. But they come out the gate. Shaheed take it to the house on the opening kickoff, and it was just really up from there.
all the way up.
So now they go to face the Rams in the NFC Championship. But before we talk about these championship matchups, got a word from our sponsor. Introducing Black Diamond Concentrate from Diamond Collection, a premium mineral supplement crafted to elevate your hydration experience. Formulated with no dyes, sweeteners, or artificial flavors, Black Diamond Concentrate is 100% natural. Just 2 dropfuls added to a 16.9 ounce bottle of water can transform the way you hydrate. Order today at poweredbytmb.com and use code DSP at checkout to receive a 20% discount. That's code DSP. All right, let's get back to. Welcome back to Down South Philly Show, brought to you
Well,
by the Sports
well,
Lounge Media. Yeah, man. So that's a perfect segue into the NFC Championship. So we got round 3, Seattle Seahawks, Los Angeles Rams for all the chips.
go downstairs with Naomi. I'll be down in a minute.
We got Sam Darnold going up against Matthew Stafford. It does suck that Seattle gonna have to go to battle without Charbonnet because he was having a hell of a season. And he was the right hand in the 1-2 punch. So I'm not sure what they third string running back gonna do, but he definitely gonna get some touches in the NFC Championship. But I do know that he ain't no Charbonnet. So it'll be interesting to see what they do there. Tell me what you think about that matchup.
Mm, it's a good matchup, man. You talking about a team everybody kind of looking at in the Rams as having one of the best offenses this year versus a team in Seattle with people looking at having one of the best defenses this year. So it's good on good. And then when it come down to the other side of the ball, Rams got a pretty good defense, and Seattle they offense straight, and they can. The only I guess Achilles heel is if you can get the you know get to Sam Darnold. So it'll be interesting to see how they hold up against that Rams front because that's gonna be the difference in the game. Unless Seattle defense just completely shutting out the Rams offense and they getting like turnovers and stuff like that. Um, it'll be interesting to see that Seattle. It's gonna be interesting to see that Seattle offense against that Rams defense and see if they can make something shake. Um, it's hard for me to say who I got in that game. If it's who I want to win, I want
Mm.
Seattle to win. But I can really see that game going anyway. Either way, it's a huge question mark because I don't really know. I don't really know what I'm gonna get out of the Seattle offense against that Rams defense. So that's to me like the question mark. I'm not too worried about Seattle defense against the Rams offense because it has been shown several times this season. I know they probably really trying to coming up with some stuff this for this game for that defense, but um it's been shown several times this year. You can shut that Rams offense down for a little while. You might not hold them down the whole game, but you can. It's a lot of stuff you can do. It's been a lot of times they just ain't really did nothing this season, regardless of who was on. Puka and Adams been on the field and they ain't really been doing nothing a few times. So um, I'm not too worried about that side of the ball, but it's gonna be hard for me to call. It's gonna be a good game though.
If I had to choose, I think I might. Damn, it's a coin flip. It really is. like I said, I think them losing Zach Charbonnet is a huge blow because of what he adds in the run game. Because it's times where they can't get it going with Walker, and they change the pace up and put Charbonnet in, and he just either he breaks something off or he just change the pace of the game and get an extra 4 to 5 yards as opposed to no gain or loss. So because of the unknown, because we don't know truly what Sam Darnold gonna do when they make him play left-handed in this game, because that's what's gonna happen. Um, I suspect with them losing Charbonnet that the Rams gonna try to shut down the run game and make Darnold beat him with his arm. I mean, that's really the game plan for how to beat that Seattle defense. Easier said than done, especially when you consider the fact that that's the Rams' weakness is their defensive backs. You can throw on them, so um, I also think that's probably their best chance to win. So it'll be interesting to see who exploit who, because JSN is a bad man, and the Rams defensive back ain't nobody in that secondary that can cover JSN 1-on-1. So it really just the wild card really gonna be Sam Darnold in that one. And for that reason, I'm going Rams. I think they take care of business. Now, I'm happy to be wrong. If Sammy D come out, if Sammy D come out,
And he making moves.
hey, then we got something else coming, and I'd be happy to be wrong on that one. But uh I just gotta see it. Oh, appreciate you, Mike. Yeah, this is a designer original. Um, well, we gotta talk about the other side of this thing, the AFC Championship. So that's the Broncos, that's the Pats, the 1 and 2 seed in the AFC. Really two teams that I wouldn't have guessed that they would be the 1 and 2 seeds in the AFC coming into this year. And I was kind of skeptical of both teams really throughout the season, but they just really kept winning. Uh, the Broncos was more so in a comeback fashion. Like it seemed like they just start slow and somehow they had these miraculous fourth quarters to storm back and win the game. Or when you talk about the Patriots, who they've been playing teams all year, and you don't really respect their strength of schedule all that much, but a win is a win in the NFL. So they was able to figure out how to take care of business and get the dub. So defenses played better for the Pats. The huge news out of Denver is they lost Bo Nix. Bo Nix actually coming off one of his best games of the season, in my opinion, against the Bills. He played very well in that game. It kind of sucks for that we won't get to see him. Jared Stidham is coming in to start in that game. I think he got a chance to play a few games this year, and he did well in spots. So it's gonna be a testament to Sean Payton and that coaching staff as to how the hell they're gonna get ready for the Patriots. So one thing that's in the Broncos corner is, even though Bo Nix was playing well, he's still a 2-year, second-year quarterback. So, this is still a huge moment for him. So you never really knew or never really know what you were going to get out of him in the championship game, because that would have been the biggest game of his career so far. Uh, Stidham is a vet. He's been in the league for a while now. He maybe doesn't have the experience in the championship game, but I think in a pinch, when you think about the fact that they have a good running game in Denver, they'll be at home, and they have an excellent defense. So they have all the tools uh possible to win this game. And the Patriots aren't a juggernaut. They have shown weaknesses. As a matter of fact, the Texans had them on the rope with the game that Stroud just had. So you tell him, I'm saying I watched Stroud have one of the worst game of his career and still have a chance to beat the Pats last week. So I think that Sean Payton will have him ready to go. I can't obviously you can't guarantee a win, especially when it comes down to a backup quarterback. But I think that he has a better. I think the Broncos have a better chance of winning this game than the media is giving them. I think the media is just basically saying, "Oh, it's a foregone conclusion that the Pats are going to roll into Denver and walk out with the win and a Super Bowl appearance." I think it's going to be a close game. I give them better than a good chance to win this game at that. It's the defense for me. Broncos will keep it close. They definitely will. They'll keep it close. The Pats offensive line shows some chinks in the armor against the Texans. Now we got to be fair. The Texans defense is just that legit though. When we talk about Benito, he's having a hell of a season, but he's no Will Anderson. Um, I don't even. It's hard to say that they have even a Daniil Hunter, but as a unit, the Broncos are one of the best pass rushing teams in the league. So I say they got a better than a good chance to win this game. I was just talking about
Okay, go back downstairs. I'll be down there in a minute.
the Pats and the Broncos. Before you got off, I was talking about how the Broncos lost Bo Nix for the rest of the playoffs. Tell me how much in your mind does that affect this matchup?
It affected a lot because you got a quarterback that's coming in that ain't really. He ain't the starter. He ain't even. I ain't gonna say he ain't ready, but you don't want to. You don't. He ain't played the whole playoffs. He ain't played the whole playoffs, and now you got him coming in to play in the AFC Championship to try to win to go to the Super Bowl. I ain't gonna say it's impossible. Yeah, because you doing something you don't supposed to be doing. Go downstairs with Naomi, and don't touch that door, because you look like you don't know what you're doing. Just leave it open, Zada. But yeah, they did not the internet. I was off because they knocked the internet off. I go down there now. I tell me I was trying to plug my iPad up. Anyway,
Wi-Fi gone.
yeah, I'm like, bro, I ain't even tell you can get on your iPad. What are you doing with the iPad? Tell me you trying to plug it up. But anyway, but yeah, so you don't want to be going into your last game. I don't know the last I think Bo Nix got hurt earlier this season, which is I'm assuming the
I think
last
he
time.
played a few. Yeah, he played a couple games this year.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm assuming that's the last time he played, but it wasn't recent. So it's just hard going into your last game with a backup quarterback, regardless of who it is. So I think it's gonna affect this game a lot. It ain't impossible for them to go out there and win, but a lot of times, you know, they tailor game plan different, so it could be helpful. Maybe it help them out. Maybe it don't. It all depends on how they call the game, how he go out there and execute. Really,
I think they
yeah.
got the pieces around him to win a game. Um, and I think the way I'm looking at it is the Patriots aren't a juggernaut, so it's not really. They've been playing well all year. They one of the better teams in the league, but they not unbeatable. Well, no team is really unbeatable. But to your point, it seems like a lot of times when teams lose they starting quarterback and the backup got to come in, they tailor a game plan that's really fit more for a winning. They run the ball more. They play better defense, and they it seemed like they play like more team ball because they know that they can't just depend on their quarterback to throw them out of whatever situation they in. So Sean Payton, we already know he a hell of a coach. He know how to coach them up, especially from the quarterback position. So it's not like they asking Stidham to go out here and finish out a season. They need him to win 2 games. Two of the biggest games of his career, but 2 games nonetheless. But
Yeah, really, really one. You don't even want to have to worry about
that's
winning
true.
2 games because if you don't
Yeah.
win this one, it ain't no 2 games. So we need you. This the biggest game of your
One
career
game.
right here. We'll deal with the other one when we get to it. They need them to go out there and win 1 game. But even to that, it's like really he can't just don't go out there and make a bunch of mistakes. You don't
He
want to.
pull a Stroud.
Yeah, you don't want to go out there and give the Patriots the game. You
Mhm.
wanna go out there, take care of the ball. You don't want to be too conservative, but you don't want to go out there and just throwing clueless, pointless interceptions, just like boneheaded plays. So you want to go out there and take care of the ball and take what the defense give you. And it ain't like he a rookie or a
Right.
first time start. So this he got some playing time under his belt. He a vet. So um he should be straight.
Who you got winning that one?
Mm, I'm gonna have to go Patriots because I just been saying Patriots this whole time. Um, I mean, dang, I'm tripping. This is his second year, right?
Nah, Stidham
Oh,
been in the league for a minute.
he been in the league longer than that. Oh, okay.
Yeah, because he was originally with the Pats.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I was thinking he was been around for a minute, but then I was thinking like, hold on, wait, did he come in like a year or two ago? But yeah, I'm gonna have to roll with the Patriots because from the beginning I kind of just been feeling it was going. When I seen what teams was in the playoffs, I was like, yeah, it's look because that even when I was thinking we was going, I was hoping I was like, yeah, it's probably gonna be like Patriots Eagles. That's what I was thinking. I was like, probably be like Patriots Eagles. Um, And if it anything other than that, I was thinking like maybe the Bills can finally pull one off or something like that. But outside of that, I really was thinking like Eagles, Patriots, and then of course when we went out, I started saying Seattle Patriots. So um, we'll see. But I'm had to roll with the Patriots, man.
Yeah, I could definitely see that, especially when you consider um it just seemed like the Braves are going their way. They in the divisional round, they had Stroud wet the bed. Um Championship round, they'll be playing a backup quarterback. So it it seemed like the stars is lining up for them. Some people will talk junk and talk about putting the asterisk beside it if they do make it 2 and win the Super Bowl. But hey, I wouldn't give a damn what they say as long as they say Super Bowl champion after it.
For real.
But yeah, that's really that's all we had for today. We just wanted to recap the divisional round, preview championship weekend. We getting closer and closer to the end of the season. We ain't got but 2 games on primetime sports this week. They both on Sunday. Um, and then shoot, 2 weeks and then the Super Bowl. So we really got 3 more games left in the season. Total. Been a hell of a season. Um, we really been on coach watch, but uh, with every day that go by, with every week that go by, with every hire that go by, we kind of anxious to see like who we gonna get at OC, who the competition gonna get at head coach and OC. It's some huge coaching opportunities on the table for some coaches to decide on. So we'll be talking about that as we keep our eyes on the prize and hopefully Howie and Lurie do the right thing, like Spike Lee. But until then, we'll be back. We'll be back. As I said, we got 2 games on Primetime Sports. That's both on Sunday. I think the games is similar to what they was this weekend, where it's 3:30 and 6:30 or something like that. It's like 3 and 6. Whether it's 30 in there, I don't remember, but it's around that. We'll have both of them games. And then of course you can catch us every Tuesday till it ain't no more Tuesdays at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard, right here on the Down South Philly Show. But that's all we had today. Make sure y'all smash that like button, drop a few comments, and as always, subscribe.
Hey, we at home, but go Birds, baby.
Go Birds. To the crib.